Good afternoon. This is David Ammons, Vice Chair of the Public Disclosure Commission and presiding officer for today's hearing on two requests for reporting modifications. Today is May the 23rd, 2019, and the time is 4:55 p.m. The hearing is being held at the Public Disclosure Commission offices in Olympia and is being audio recorded. The hearing is being conducted under the authority of RCW 3405, the Administrative Procedure Act, WAC 390.28, and RCW 4217A, the Fair Campaign Practices Act, which is enforced by the Commission. We have staff present. They would identify themselves.
Sean Flynn, General Counsel.
Sean Flynn, General Counsel, thank you.
And Jennifer Hansen.
Elected officials and others are required to annually file reports of personal finances on forms known as the F-1. Filers are permitted to apply for modification on a limited basis if literal application would pose a manifest hardship or risk to safety, and where the modification would not frustrate the purposes of the Act, and where the modification would be only to the extent necessary to relieve the hardship. In order to grant a modification, a hearing must be held. New requests or those renewals that were granted more than 3 years ago must be heard by the full commission. Otherwise, requests may be heard by a presiding officer, as we have today. Today we have two requests for partial exemptions, one from a Superior Court judge and one from an Eastern Washington University regent or trustee. In each case, the filer has waived personal appearance, and we will rely on the information they have submitted in their request. Jennifer Hansen, I will remind you that you are still under oath from earlier in the day. Will you tell us what we have before us today?
Yes, I'm happy to do so. Do you want them both read into the record and then you'll decide, or do you want to do your consideration of each individually?
Let's do them individually.
Excellent. So the first request is a reporting modification renewal from Teresa Doyle. She's a judge with King County Superior Court. She's requesting a renewal that exempts her from disclosing her residential address for safety concerns. Commissioner Ammons, you have been provided information regarding what her safety concerns have been and a little bit of information about her history of having this request before the commission in the past.
Thank you, Jennifer. Based on the record, I will approve this request, finding that literal application would cause a manifestly unreasonable hardship on her and that a limited modification would not frustrate the purposes of the Act. An order will be issued within 10 business days. The second?
The second application is being made by Jay Manning. He is a trustee with Eastern Washington University. His request includes a renewal of a modification that exempts him from disclosing the reportable clients or business customers of the law firm that he is part of, Cascadia Law Group. His request is including two filing periods, 2007, the F1 covering 2017 and 2018. His request is identical for both years, and he has provided the information that's required under the rule, which includes the clients that he has personally represented through Cascadia, as well as any others that are already publicly available.
Thank you. I would put on the record that I know Mr. Manning from his days in the governor's office and at the Department of Ecology and Olympia in government in general, but find that that prior friendship would not cause me to have any kind of bias in this particular case. I will also, based on the record before us, approve this request, finding that literal application would cause a manifestly unreasonable hardship on him and that a limited modification would not frustrate the purposes of the Act. An order will be issued within 10 business days. Is there any other business before us?
That was it.
Thank you so much. We will adjourn the hearing at this time. It is 5:00 p.m.